Alright, so we're checking out this wireless microphone system from BOYA. It's called the BOYALINK, and here is the box. That's what it looks like. Here's the back of the box, and just some information there if you guys want to check it out. Here's what comes inside the box. So of course you get the microphone system, of course, and then you get a USB-C cable for charging, warranty card, user guide manual, and then you get this cloth carrying case for the microphone system. And here is a look at the case that the microphones are in. The battery inside the case is 1,000 milliamp hours, and there are, of course, batteries inside each of the components. So if you press the button here in the front, that turns on the little power indicator, so it shows you how much battery is left. And then it also is a switch that lets you open up the latch here so you can get the cover off. You have 2 transmitters and 1 receiver, and a couple of wind muffs for each transmitter. And then the beauty of this system is the fact that you can switch out these are little adapters here. So you have 3.5mm TRS microphone adapter, USB-C, and then you have the lightning adapter for iPhones. And this is the reason I've actually already switched to using this as basically my day-to-day content creation microphone system. If you haven't realized by now, it's probably been about 4 weeks now. I've probably made about 20 videos since I put this system, or since I've started using this system, and basically the audio is pretty good, and it's very convenient. Like, I can use this with my main camera, actually the one I'm filming on right now, which I'm of course obviously using a different microphone. This is on-camera microphone that I'm currently using, but I can use this with my current camera, which is the ZV-1. I can also use it with my Samsung smartphone, USB-C of course. So I'll demonstrate all this here in a second. And of course I don't have an iPhone, so I can't test that, but I mainly just use one microphone. If I want to use a second microphone, you can do that as well. If you're interviewing someone, that's going to be pretty useful. There is a switch on here on the receiver. Yeah, so stereo versus mono over here. So if you're just using one microphone, it takes the one signal, and then it actually clones it to the other tracks. It's a stereo signal that comes into your device, but it actually clones the mono signal from one microphone. Now if you switch it to stereo, slide that over, and you're using 2 of the microphones, it'll have one microphone's audio on one channel of the stereo and the other one on the other channel of the stereo. So that's how that works. There's a power button over here, so that you can see it's blinking. It's trying to look for the transmitters, but I can't find it. And it actually powers on when you remove it from the power. So you have these little pins right here, and then it charges off of these pins here. Same with the microphones. But as soon as you pull it out of its case here, as soon as it detects that it's not in the case, it powers on by itself. But you can, of course, turn the power on and off by just holding down the power button. And you can see that's off. And then that power button, if you short press it, is the mute button. You got a little clip here to attach to your shirt or hat or whatever. You have the plus and minus here as for adjusting your gain. I pretty much leave it whatever it is stock out of the box. I think there's 6 levels. It doesn't tell you what it's on, but I just left it alone. And if you feel like you're not getting enough gain, you can increase that. Or if you're getting too much gain, if you're getting like distortion or clipping, you can decrease that. And then if you press both of these down together, it turns on the noise reduction, noise cancellation function. So normally, like for example, I'll just show you here. But first off, if we put the devices back into the case here like this, you can see the red light turns on, means it's charging, and it turns off the device if it happens to be on. Let's go ahead and pull this one out here. This one, let's see, it's looking for the receiver. So we'll go ahead and put out the receiver, and it should auto connect. You can see this one has a green light, and if we pull out the other one, This one has a blue light. And so when you have the noise reduction function on, it turns green light on, which means that the noise reduction, noise cancellation feature is turned on. Go ahead and press those together. It turns back to blue, and then press those again, then it turns to green, so you know that that's on. If you have the mute function on, so you press on the mute function, this should blink red, which means the microphone is muted. So very easy to use. And then if you don't want to use the case, so sometimes I'll just carry these around in my bag and not have to carry the case around, just to save a little bit of weight. You can just charge it via USB-C on the bottom here with any USB-C charger, 5 volts, pretty simple. Those come with these little wind muffs for each of the microphones. You just have to sort of find out like where there's a certain way to get it in there, and then twist it, and then it'll stay on. And this does a pretty good job. I have tested this out in the wind. The audio quality is very good, even in very strong winds. The wind does not come through. And it just stores into this little section of the case right here. You got 2 of them. Just pop them in here. They hold in very nicely. And then these additional adapters, they just hold in magnetically. So everything is magnetic, so it's very, very nice. Nothing will fall out or, go all over the place. And then switching the little adapters is super easy. You just pull this little latch here, and then they just slide out like so. And then you can just swap in your USB-C like so. Now, the reason I switched to this one, I was using this one for a while, the Hollyland system. I did a video back in February. I compared this to 7 other microphones. So if you want to hear this audio and compare it to the BOYALINK, which I will get to here in a second in terms of the audio samples, that video was put out in February, so check that out on my channel. The reason I switched from this is, well, one, this is a little bit bigger in terms of size. So you can see comparatively, it's a little bit bigger, heavier. That's not a huge deal. It does come, obviously with the 3.5mm TRS adapter for your cameras. You can also get like a USB-C to 3.5mm adapter, so I can use it with my smartphone, but it's a bit of a, it's a bit bulky to, put this this receiver on your phone, whereas with this type of a system, you can just basically just plug it in and you're off and running. It doesn't take, you don't have to go find any adapters, and it just works. In fact, before I got this system, I was using for my phone a different microphone because this is kind of bulky and a little bit inconvenient. So I bought this off of Amazon. This is like a really cheap microphone system. It's kind of generic. It comes in, many different companies sell this. It's basically the same stuff inside, but it's a USB-C for your phone. The audio quality of this one isn't nearly as good as the BOYALINK. Regarding the battery life on these is actually really, really good. So you press the little button here, and you can see I still have 3 bars out of 4. I've only lost 25% since I've charged this 4 weeks ago, and I've made like 20 videos. Now granted, I don't use like these for super long amounts of time, maybe 10-20 minutes at a time, but I have not charged the case or these devices in 4 weeks. So just to give you an idea of the longevity of these. So they are saying that it's like 6 to 10 hours of continuous use on just the receiver and transmitter, and then 30 hours total once you obviously drain the case as well. So that's pretty impressive. So basically, if you're worried about power on time, I don't think that's going to be a concern. Something else worth noting is that because this is USB-C based, this will work with the DJI Action 2, 3, and 4. And because the DJI uses USB-C based microphones, so just to give you an idea, here's the Action 2, and this is plugged in. I have tested it. Works really well. For whatever reason, the audio system in the DJI Action cameras are pretty good. So it captures the audio a little bit better than on the GoPro, the Media Mod. I've tested this on the Media Mod, and the audio on the Action 2 sounds a little bit better than the audio captured from the Media Mod on the same microphone system. All right, finally we're doing the audio test here. Just, obviously for those of you that watch my channel, you've heard me on this microphone in various videos. Of course, I haven't announced it or told anyone about it yet, so until now. And actually, the reason I decided I would switch this because typically when I switch to a new microphone, I get complaints that the audio isn't very good, but I never got any complaints from anybody about the audio on, at least on the portions where I use this microphone. So that's gave me a lot of confidence to go ahead and make the switch and continue to use this. And unless otherwise something better comes along, I'm probably going to continue to use this system. So I am using the microphone that has the noise reduction turned off. And so I'm going to turn on some like crowd noise here on the computer on the side here. So this is with some simulated crowd noise to get an idea of what this microphone sounds like with some background noise. And so here's some portions with me not talking. And you could definitely probably hear that in the background. So I'm going to go switch to the other microphone with the noise reduction turned on, and then you can let me know what that sounds like. All right, so I switched over to this is the microphone. You can see it's got the green light on. This is the one with the noise reduction turned on, and I've turned the crowd noise off. So this is just kind of like what it sounds like with noise reduction turned on in a fairly quiet environment. I have listened to this myself, and I prefer the regular microphone over the noise reduction microphone. I don't know why, but the audio doesn't sound quite as pure. It's just seems a little bit off. It does work with noise reduction. So go ahead and turn on the noise here, and then you'll see what that sounds like. So the crowd noise is back on. You probably can still hear it. It's probably not as loud or apparent. My voice is probably coming out a little bit better with the noise reduction on compared to without the noise reduction on. But the noise cancellation, of course, all these noise cancellation systems, they manipulate the audio to sort of get rid of that background noise, and that does change the quality of the audio, in my opinion. And so, it's hard to compare like how this noise reduction sounds to like other systems because I haven't done really a lot of in-depth testing. But to me, the sound quality just sounds better with the noise reduction turned off. Now, typically I don't record in noisy environments like this, so let's go ahead and turn this off. And I'm going to switch back to the regular microphone. All right, so we're back to the regular mic here with the blue light, and yeah, I prefer this audio. You guys can let me know in the comments which one you think sounds better. And again, I don't typically record in noisy environments, so this is not a big deal for me. And if I am in an environment where there's a lot of wind, of course I will just put on the little windscreen and I'm good to go. And it works, the windscreen works really well. So typically when I'm outside, I use the windscreen. So I'm going to go ahead and do the range test here. I'll show you the range test I did with the windscreen on so you get an idea of what this sounds like outside, and you can compare it to what it sounds like indoors. All right, so I'm going to do the distance test here. And we've got a lot of objects in the way here. So for one thing, you don't want to block the signal with your body. So I have the microphone over here on my hat. Usually if you put it on your chest here and you walk away, your body will block the signal and your range is going to be a lot less. But I'm going to just walk around here. This is one of the advantages of using a wireless microphone, is that you're free to roam anywhere within the field of view of the camera and you still have good audio. And I'm going to go off in that direction over here. And hopefully there won't be any breakup. There's a lot of Wi-Fi here because there's some office buildings and it's the weekend, so no one's working right now. So probably not too much Wi-Fi interference. Not sure if you can see me here. I'm probably like 100 feet away now, but I am behind some trees and hopefully we'll still have some signal here. I'm going behind several trees now. I'm probably not in the field of view of the camera anymore. So this is give you an idea of what the wireless range is like. And head back now. We'll see if it did lose connection. We'll see if the signal came back or not. Yeah, so I think that's going to cover for this video. Overall, pretty happy with this microphone system. It's about $100 right now, so it's $119 with a $19 coupon on Amazon. You know, Amazon plays those little coupon games. So $100 for a dual microphone wireless system here. You know, you can use it with your cameras, your smartphones, your action cameras. It's very versatile. Audio quality, in my opinion, is good enough. It's very good in my opinion. And again, you can go back to my February 2023 video and compare this audio to what you heard in that video, 7 other microphones in that one, and give you an idea of, you know, how you think this one compares. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like content like this, where I kind of do little in-depth reviews, I try and make more of these kind of product reviews. You know, consider subscribing to the channel. I'd really appreciate that, and you know, you'll get notifications on future videos like this. Anyway, that's going to cover for this video. Link will be down in the video description for this product if you want to check it out. Talk to you guys in the next one.